What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. My name is Joseph,
And I am Will.
and welcome to Equip Live. This is the show brought to you live by Logitech for creators to equip you with the tools you need to make your best content. Will, how's it going today, bud?
It's going good, man. It's going real good. How you doing?
Good. So, I want to apologize to everyone for a little bit of a late start today. We're having some technical difficulties, but we're going to try and power through today. And in good old fashioned Equip Live fashion, we're going to try and break our show today. That's the plan for today. So hope everyone is excited for that. All right, but before we get into that, Will, why don't you tell us a little bit, tell the folks about when they can catch us on these shows.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are live twice a week. We are live on Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch us on youtube.com/Logitech for creators, twitch.tv/Logitech C, and facebook.com/Amiibo camera. But we do recommend that you head over to twitch.tv/Logitech C for not only the best quality video, but also that's where the community is. So if you need help with anything or just want to help somebody else out, Twitch is the place to be.
Absolutely. And if you want to take it one step further and be part of the team, you can sign up to become a user tester. So with this program, you can see unreleased products, packaging, software, and firmware, all new things coming out from the Logitech for Creators brand. So the form is right there. You can copy and paste that. Or if you go into our Willow link, which you see scrolling at the bottom of your screen, you will find all our deets there. And we'll just give them an idea of what that looks like. So this is our Willow link. This is what you're seeing scrolling at the bottom of the page. So, Will, what is some of the advantages of having Willow?
Yeah, Willow is really great because it's a link tree, right? So you just post this one link to Willow like we have scrolling down there at the bottom, and that'll bring you to one of these little home pages, and you can customize all the colors, you can customize the button sizes and shapes and everything like that. And basically you can put all of your links there. So if you're broadcasting on Twitch, you've got an Instagram that you want to grow, a Twitter that you want to grow, TikTok, whatever it is, you can put all of your links in the one homepage. So you can link people just one small link and they'll see all the rest of your links.
Absolutely. And you'll notice that second link there is the Equip Live Host React survey. So this is a survey, basically a submission form. So if you want us to feature your setup or your projects on the show, send us an email to equiplive@logitech.com or click the link in that Willow tab, and you can send us how you're using Logitech for Creators devices. Send us maybe some designs that we can critique or maybe help you improve, and then send us some footage of some of the things that you're shooting with your Logitech for Creators products.
Absolutely. And just so we have a little sneak peek up front, I do want to explain the title. We've got a new multicam feature that we're talking about today. It's not out yet for the public, but it will be very, very soon. And we're able to give you a nice little preview today, right?
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's been a while since we were able to kind of show the folks something that hasn't been released yet, something we've been working on.
Right.
Our Amiibo customer is a very loyal and very robust group of users, and we want to give them that sneak peek and make sure that they're, let them know that we do hear them, we do hear the requests, and we are working on things for sure.
Every single show.
Every time.
When's the update? It is soon.
But before we get into that, we want to just be a little charitable. So, as you know, Streamlabs is part of the Logitech team. And if you want to be charitable as well, check out streamlabscharity.com. And they have a lot of great causes going on right there. So I wanted to throw that out there to the community. Charity is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
All right. What do you say we say what's up to some folks in chat? Looks like we got a lot of chatter going on.
Let's do it.
Jim, what's going on, Jim? How are you doing?
Hey,
he says, "What's up, everybody? Sunny Chicago finally. Can't wait to stream some softball games this weekend."
Nice.
And boy, do we have something in store for you, Jim.
The hype is real. Multicam sneak peek. That's right.
What's going on, Ben?
Hey, Ben.
Laser Greetings from Oregon. Thank you for joining us. And be sure, everyone, let us know where you're coming in from. We want to know where everyone is. Miguel, checking in from Facebook. Good morning. How are you doing?
What's up?
Brian, awesome. Brian, greetings. I did receive your submission for the Host React form. Very cool stuff.
Awesome.
Can't wait to talk about it. Thanks for
Nice.
joining in. All right, good day. Daryl, Pastor Daryl, ready to learn. Callie,
Nice.
how you
What's
doing?
up, Callie?
All right, Jim is saying, I missed Tuesday's call. What's with the news on Multicam? I cannot wait to get into it. Gordon saying technical difficulties will happen. That they will. We know all
Truth.
too well. All too
Yeah.
well. All right.
Belgium. What's up,
Wow, chiming in
Dennis?
from Belgium. What time is it there? Are you up late or are you up early? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Virgil, how's it going?
What up?
What up,
What's up,
Chris?
Christopher? What's
Chris,
going
definitely
on?
just got your submission as well. Thank you for that. Really cool stuff. I have a couple of questions I want to ask you about your lighting. And I know you
Nice.
being a professional photographer, I'm sure you're definitely going to have the answers for me.
Hello from Kansas, Pastor Rick. What is up? Welcome, welcome. What's going on, Gordon? From
Wow,
Arkansas.
all over the place.
Yeah, man.
All right. What's up, Juke?
No. Look at this. We've got 2 people from Kansas. That's awesome. Laserless. Video in multicam. Show me the money.
Oh man. Kathy chiming in. What's up, Kathy? Nice to hear from
Hey,
you.
welcome back.
I always want to say nice to see you, but I'm not actually seeing you. So nice to
Right.
hear from you. All right.
Cool. Samuel.
Samuel, what's up? Coming from BC. All right.
British Columbia.
Can you stream Streamlab software or Boxcaster with Mevo cameras? Actually, yes, you can. You can absolutely do that. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So thanks for that
Yeah.
segue. That'll give us some ammunition for later on. Chris is in Massachusetts. Awesome. Getting
Nice.
that Duncan. Nice.
I need some more caffeine myself.
Ryan, what's up? Thanks for joining again. Hello, everyone. Excited for the sneak peek. Fingers crossed for what I've been asking for years. For those who don't know, Ryan does wedding shoots. He chatted with us last week, and we have something special for him also. And then we have, Rick saying is in Ottawa. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, it's 8 p.m. in Belgium. That's not bad. This is like
Nice.
prime time in Belgium. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we need to focus on our Belgium audience a little bit more.
Right.
It's like prime time. Bacon Potato, how are you?
What's
How's
up,
it
Bacon
going?
Potato? Welcome back.
All right. Jim saying TikTok. Let's hear it. All right. You know
You
what?
gotta build up the hype.
I'm gonna take Jim's advice here. Let's get this moving. So what's up, everyone? Nasia, how you doing? Thanks for joining again. Norman, we got a lot of people coming in today.
Love it. Loving it. So, what would
Take
you
it away,
say is one of the most requested features for the Multicam app?
Well, I'd have to say it would be. I'm trying to go out and say it. It would be to have more than 3 cameras.
You are correct.
Oh, was it a different Ryan? I'm sorry. I just source. That's funny. Yeah, I would say it would be to have more than 3 cameras. Is something like that something that we're talking about today?
You know, I think it is. So we have been asked over and over where people want to add more than 3 Meevos to their multicam productions because multicam is super easy, and they're doing productions that might need more than 3 cameras. Like maybe you're doing a sports broadcast and you need to cover a very large field. Maybe you're doing some kind of show like a concert or something like that, and you want to have multiple cameras on different instruments and different musicians. There's so many good uses for it. We have also got house of worships that want to have cameras on the front, on the music, on the congregation, all that stuff. And so now we are finally allowing you to do more than 3 Meevos in the Multicam app.
Ah, man, I can't wait. Wait. How many Amiibos, Will?
That's actually a really exciting thing for me, especially because just to give like some background into this feature, this has been something that was available in the dev builds for a very, very long time. And so I have been making it my personal mission to connect as many Meevos as possible to the Multicam app. And so far I've gotten to about 15. that's about the max that my iPad Pro can handle, and my network can handle. So that being said, you can add as many Meevos as your device and your network can handle. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So as many as your device can handle. I think that's an important way to put it too, because in testing this, and we've been testing this for a while, um,
Yeah.
it really depends on a lot of things, right? So it's going to depend on your network. It's going to depend on your device strength, how new the device is, what it's capable of as far as how it can run as many live video feeds and stuff like that.
Right.
So let's get into it though, everyone. It looks like we see some excitement. We see some excitement in the chat right
Yeah.
now.
What's going on in chat right now? Love it. Wow.
Let's see here. Let me catch up.
There goes my kid's college fund.
Pastor
love
Ben
it.
says, I knew it.
Yeah. I mean, this is huge. That's right. Unlimited Meevos.
Yep. Concerts. Yeah. So start putting
Right.
in chat. What we want to hear is when you hear unlimited Mevos, right? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Like, what do you think? Right here we see concerts. Some people are saying sports. So get in detail. Tell us exactly how you are looking to use more Mevos with your setup. And
I
as you
love
do that,
Chris's comment.
was that
This announcement should come with doves being released into the sky. So stoked. I love it. It should. I should have put on an AR filter while I was announcing that.
That's awesome. All right. Well, before we get too far into things, let's talk about our setups today, because I know, Will, we're going to break down yours and we're going to really get into the nitty gritty of this
Yeah.
new feature. But while I have your attention, everyone, let's talk about my setup a little bit. So I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm actually using the Mevo camera. I'm using the Mevo Start, and that is going wired 1080p webcam into my laptop. And for audio, I am actually using my Blue. This is going to pop a little bit here, but I want to show you the Blue Yeti X, which is great. So I have that running through Blue Voice using G Hub, and that's it. That's all I'm using today. I'm bringing that directly into Melon. We're, of course, broadcasting using the Melon app. Check that out, melonapp.com. But I wanted to keep my setup fairly simple because I know Will's setup is going to get out of hand. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. So let's explain first just the basics of like what you're seeing and hearing right now. So right now I've got one input coming into Melon that is my Mevo Start connected to my computer via wired webcam. I've got my Blue Baby Bottle microphone for my audio, and then of course my UE Fits and Lighter Glows for audio and lighting. So there's just like the basic setup that I'm working with here. And then I also have a second input that's going into Melon from a different computer that is going to show you the Multicam app, connecting a bunch more Mevos. And so, yeah, that'll be really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So questions were, Nasi's saying, are you guys going to show a demo?
We are.
Come on now. Come on.
Always.
Of course we are.
We're going to try and break things.
All right, Will, what should I bring up first?
Let's see. Let's go with the app right now.
The app. Seeing the
the
app,
Multicam
or
app
the
right
app
there. Yeah.
output?
Seeing the app, yeah.
Seeing the app, got it.
So it's a good point too, is we have so many inputs coming into Melon. And that's an interesting thing about Melon is like you can have multiple inputs coming into Melon on the same computer. You can share screens. You can use different browser windows to capture different windows and screens and stuff like that. It's very, very fun.
Yep.
So here we go. We've got the Multicam app. This is running on my iPad Pro, and this I'm going to be pretty specific about everything that's being used because I do because it's going to change so much between different devices, right? Like if you have an older or cheaper tablet, you're not going to be able to run as many Mevos. If you have a really souped up iPad Pro or something like the Android S8 Ultra that we were talking about last week, you might be able to do 10 or 15. It really depends. It also depends on your network. So I do want to mention that as well. So I'm using 2 Eero Pro 6s in my home, and it's just a mesh network. So it's a little bit on the expensive side, but you can also go PoE if you want really secure connections as well. So lots that goes into this many Mevos.
Yeah, and with that being said, Will, just before you move on here, I just want to
Yeah.
point this out. So this feature is going to be coming out next week likely. So this
Hmm.
is something that's still in beta right now. So we're just testing out to show you all today. But what's going to happen is when you start adding more Meevos, you're going to see this prompt here, and it's going to just remind you that there is a performance aspect to this, right? So connect as many Mevo cameras as you need for optimal performance. A strong Wi-Fi network and modern tablet or smartphone is recommended. And we're going to have an article associated with that on the Learn More connection there. But what's important there is just it's very reliant on the capabilities of what your controlling device can do. So today we're gonna try and break Will's, but
Yeah.
but I just want to make sure that that's pretty clear. So here's your iPad, Will, and you're using the iPad Pro. You said, right?
Yes, this is a 2020 iPad Pro 11 inch. Um, so it's not even taking advantage of the M1 processor yet.
Awesome.
All right. So if I go into my ad cameras, as you can see,
Woo!
I've got a few of them. Um, so as always, like it's the exact same process that you're used to. You can go through and connect your cameras one by one.
I'm gonna start throwing comments as you're doing this
Yeah,
stuff, just because Jim
please.
chimes in. I will need a 20-inch iPad.
There you go. I mean, maybe you should look at that Samsung S8 Ultra. That's
Mhm.
pretty big. All right. So just for, fun times, we're just going to do 6 for right now. I do want to say that we're going to do a show next week where we're going to really, really push it to its limits. We're going to do everything from even more Mevos to having Mevo, the Multicam app, go through several programs so you can do stuff like adding blur to the background. And if you saw our show a few weeks ago where we added AR filters to our cameras, think about that with a 15 camera setup, right? So it's pretty exciting.
So
So
before we continue, Will, just take us
yeah,
back to, can you just take us back to the camera screen? Um, so we get there's a couple things I just want to mention, especially for those if you haven't, because we may have those that are new to multicam, right? So
yeah,
so this is the initial setup screen, and Will has already um, attached all of these cameras to his network. So he did do some pre-work
right.
before this demo, right? So it's important to know you want to make sure that all these. Oh my goodness. You want to make sure that all these cameras are connected to the same network, and those connections are established before you start this whole process up.
Yeah, that's a great call. And the great thing about multicam, if you're new to it, is once you set up one Mevo in the multicam app to your Wi-Fi, the rest are super quick to set up. It'll just say, "Do you want to connect it to the same Wi-Fi?" And you just say yes, and you're golden. And I
Absolutely.
also want to mention that this same thing works for when you're out on the
Oh, well, you got a little. Bring you back in here. You with me?
Yes.
That was weird. It
Yeah.
like it like kicked you and brought you back in.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, so it works on the go. So if you're, a sports streamer or something like that, you can do unlimited Mevos for that as well. Obviously, you're going to be limited by your network. But in terms of like the big challenge of your cellular connection, you can have, 15 Mevos and your cellular connection is still using the same amount of bandwidth. So that's fine. But
Mhm.
you might need to bring like a home Wi-Fi hub with you to the sports field to take advantage of it. And also, I do want to
So
note like the audio, right? So now you can have, unlimited audio sources as well, which is also huge.
yep, absolutely. So just to elaborate on that a little bit, so what you're saying there is the multicam app itself is really handling all the load. So anything that's happening before it is happening before it, and then once it sends that connection to the stream, that's where all like your bandwidth and your connection, that's where you have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So it's important to know where you are in the signal flow process, right? Where like getting from directly from the camera to the audience, right? It has to go through a whole path of things. So um, it's a little bit different than the Amiibo app, which transmits from the Amiibo itself.
Yeah, definitely. So I just want to go through a little bit of chat while we're going along. Um, let's see, what do we got? In order to
This is funny.
music concerts, more camera angles, one on each musician, maybe. Christopher says, "Shh, don't tell my wife I'm buying another 3 Amiibos." All right, well, don't let her on YouTube so she doesn't see this VOD.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got conferences, Amiibo for every booth. That's a good call as well. Streaming, always a good use for the Amiibos. Different kinds of live streaming. So this is really huge, says Dennis. Miguel saying, how will Wi-Fi support so many Amiibos? It's a great question. You know, it's very dependent on the Wi-Fi network that you have. Mesh networks are always good. The more devices that your Wi-Fi hub can support, the better. And then always you can use Ethernet. So you can get a Mevo PoE or a third-party PoE and just plug it in that way.
Yep.
Let's see. Thinking about how soon we can get more cameras and where we will put them. It opens up a lot, right? You're thinking of all these new ways that you can use a different camera angle or a different audio source, or maybe you have audio in one section of the building, but you needed 3 cameras to point at the front of the stage because of what you're covering. Now you can add that 4th Mevo just to capture that audio.
Yeah.
So that's also really cool.
So this is something that came up, Will. So this is from Ryan. It says, exciting news. What about multiple save crop shots for multiple cameras? That's what I'm really waiting for. So you're not able to have multiple crop shots or static shots per camera, but now that you have unlimited cameras, so let's go back to what Will's got going on here. So Will, go ahead and see if you could adjust one of those images from internally.
Sure. So let's see.
Yeah, so what you're looking at right here, he's going to select a specific shot, and you can crop and zoom and set up your shots prior. So if you look, this is actually a pretty wide shot with the shelf there with the products on it, and then Will's cropping that in for this specific camera, and that can all be done still inside the Multicam app. So you can't have multiple shots on this at this time, but now that you can have multiple cameras, you can really dial in those shots and maybe even use the full 1080 aspect without having to crop in with some shots just by moving the Amiibo a little closer to whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's the huge advantage, right? Is now you can have one camera that's a nice wide shot, and that is a full 1080p, really nice high quality shot, and then you can also get a camera much closer and get another great 1080p quality shot. Yeah. So lots of options.
So let's talk about what we're looking at too. Again, if you're not familiar with the Multicam application, what you see on the left side is the rows of shots that Will has set up. So if you notice, he has a couple of black and gray ones just to show some, differentiation between the shots. And he has 6 shots set up. Now, previously, you were only allowed to have 3 cameras set up. So this is literally double the experience. And if you look on the right side, that's the program out. So that's going to be what your audience is seeing. So I think we have that as well. We can pull that up, make that a little bit bigger. Let's see here.
And this has auto director going on, so that's why it's switching. It's switching every 3 seconds, just because I want to be brutal to the network and my device. And so yeah, it's really cool. I would love to see a ton of different examples that people have that, like, once they can get this feature, like, what are you doing? How many cameras are you using? Let us know. That would be a great host react.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there right now. Let's see who can use the most Mevo cameras. Let's just see. Let's just put the contest out there. That's the 2022 contest. We'll by the end of the year, we'll see who has the best multicam setup using as many cameras as possible. Your objective is to beat Will, which may be hard to do.
Good luck. Good luck. Let's see. Pastor Ben Beckner, what's going on? He says, any idea on when this will be released? Should be next week. Yep.
What time was that? What time stamp was that? Did you say?
That was 11/19.
Okay, cool. I'm a little ahead of that. Cool.
All right. Let's see.
Yep, Janked. What's up, Janked? See you in there.
Yo. So
I'm going through. I just want to see what do you think you would use multiple Meevos for? This is funny. Is 17G coming to Verizon or T-Mobile soon? Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be Awesome.
Just
By the way,
instant.
we're looking into that that service that people were talking about in that last show. Why am I blanking on it right now? The service that combines your two signals. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about? Simplify or something like
Speedify?
that. Speedify.
Was
There
it
you go.
Speedify?
Yeah.
Callie, you're watching. You were testing that out.
Yeah, so we're starting to mess around with it. I haven't gotten the paid version yet, but I've been playing around with the mobile version, and
mhm.
it seems like there's huge advantage for mobile users versus like at-home users. So this might be great to use with your new ultra complicated multicam setup.
Yeah, right. Let's just see how many. Let's just see how many Mivos we can suction cup to Callie's car, and let's just get a full-on bullet time matrix view of like a
Right?
tornado. You know he's gonna have to drive into the middle though, so he gets that 360 view. Question here, will this work with the Mevo Pluses for those that still are using Mevo Pluses?
Yeah, it will. So multicam remains compatible with starts, pluses, and first gens. So you're good.
hmm Another question from Rick. He says, "What is a good Wi-Fi router that can handle this?" Now you mentioned you were using the Eero.
Yeah, I'm using the Eero. I've also used the Orbi, which is really nice, and that's done by I think Netgear. And then Google Home is also really good,
Google
but
Homes.
the one I'm using right now is the Eero Pro 6.
Very cool.
Yeah, man. So let's see. What else? So obviously it depends on what you're doing, but you may want to change everything to high latency.
hmm
Because again, I do want to just harp on the fact that this is rough on your network and it's not an easy lift for your device either. So the more Mios you have, the harder it is for everything to communicate. Um,
So
but
why don't we talk about that a little bit though? Let's look at your settings right now. So how are you? What's your inputs, quality settings, and your latency settings?
yeah, so for video source latency, I have that at high, and the reason for that is one, it's easier on my network because like I'm not using this stream. If this was going directly into Melon and this is how me and Joseph were communicating, then high latency would not work at all because he would ask me a question and I would answer it and he wouldn't get that answer for like a minute.
Right.
So, but right now, since it's just this one-way video demo, I can set it to high latency and reserve kind of network bandwidth for the quality. And then if you go into quality right now, I've got it at 720p,
hmm
but you can easily change this to, 1080p high, depending on, again, what you want to do and the kind of network that you're on. I want to prioritize this stream that I am talking to everybody with. So I have it on a little bit lower. But if I switch it to high, which I can do real quick. So first things first is it's going to disconnect all of the Mevos briefly
hmm
while it changes that. So that's why that goes black. So it's probably not a good thing to do, while you're going live, but it's still not too bad. It doesn't take too long. Looks like we've got
Get a
one of
hanger.
them's taking a little bit.
You got 5 or 6 on that one. I
Yeah,
told you
not
we're gonna
bad.
try and break it. So if that's a
Oh,
situation
there we
that
go.
happens, oh, it
As
came
soon as
back.
it popped up.
Yeah, as soon as you were impatient. That's what happened.
I know. I am a very impatient person. That's true. So yeah, now we're back up and good to go, and now we're at 1080p.
That's great. That's great. So I noticed too, even like the shot you had that was cropped, right? So that's a 1080p frame that's being cropped. I guess a quarter of it. So you're probably looking at like a 480 or 360
Yeah,
even.
that's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Everything is cropped down.
Yeah. So let's take a look at your actual program out feed here. I'll see if I can highlight this.
I'm
So
gonna
this is
stop auto
the.
director. Go
I
ahead.
mean, you can keep it going. It's fine. So this is the program out from the multicam, and this is coming into Melon via Will's webcam input. So he's going multicam to webcam, and that's bringing it. And even at this quality, I mean, this really isn't that bad at all. This looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Shout
black and
out
white is
to
cool.
Light Your Glow. I mean, these things are awesome, by the way. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
we mentioned them a little bit in the beginning of each show, but They really are so crucial to our broadcast.
Yeah. And just to show everyone what Will means by that. So, for example, my Lytra glows right now. I have two, and they're set up on my monitor, and they're connected to my G keys. Oh, let me see if I have G Hub open here, which I should. There they are. And I don't. Ah, there we go. So I turn G Hub on, and now I can turn those lights on and off with a key click on my keyboard. And I can also affect those lights. If I want to make those a little bit dimmer, I can tap that down, make them a little dimmer. If I want to tap that up, I can make the brightness up. So I got a little more definition right there. That looks good to me. I think so. So
Nice.
definitely very useful, those Lytra glows. Very easy to use as well.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see what else is going on in
Yeah,
chat real
let's dive
quick.
back into chat. I'm going to leave this like this so y'all can check out the app. This is great, Les. I don't have enough money to beat Will in the Mevo race.
Yeah, I do have the advantage of working for the company. That is nice. I'll take that. Let's see. We've
Look at
got
this.
3 more Mevos will deliver on the 23rd. Go Amazon Prime. Side note: I'm predicting an out of stock notice in the future. Yeah, I mean, it opens up so many doors now that you can have unlimited Mevos. Congratulations on your 3 more extra Mevos, and that's really awesome.
Yep, and I saw a question about it, but I lost it. I forgot who asked it, but I'll answer. I'll ask it here, Will. So
Yeah.
when it comes to recording with multiple Mevos, right? Do we still have the ISO recording options if you have SD cards in each camera?
hmm
And then obviously, how does the overall edit version or live edited version, where does that get recorded?
Yeah, that's actually a great question because you would think that we would limit that, right? You would think like, oh, this is just too good to be true to have unlimited Mevos. You can't possibly do ISO recording on all of them, but you actually can. So if you have an SD card in all of your Mevos, you can ISO record onto all of them. If you want to do the output recording, that's the exact same. It's just recorded directly to your device.
Hmm.
So it's pretty exciting. That's also great if you want cameras that are just recording, um, and you want to control that recording. So maybe you have cameras set up like at a sports field or something like that, and they're strictly to, you know, watch out for like form and like how players can improve and stuff like that, but you don't want to use them for the stream. Now you can do that.
Jim's also following up, says, "You guys will cause me to start hiding money from my wife. All the links to buy more cameras in packs of 5, packs of 10." That's a good call out too, Will.
Yeah,
Should we have, over packs? Oh, your battery's going. Should we
we
have,
absolutely should.
should we have 5 packs? Should we have 10 packs? Do you think that's something that we should look into? Because right now we have the 3-pack, which is on sale for $9.99, and actually
Right.
the individual Mevo cameras are on sale for $3.79. Normally they're 400, so you get a little bit off those as well. So if you need that fourth or fifth or even sixth Mevo, they're on sale right now if you want to if you do want to pick them up.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, if you already purchased that 3-pack and you want to add a fourth, then now you can get one on a little bit of a discount. Fire from Monte. What's
Oh,
up?
this is great. So a 360 cam mount next up on your 3D printer, Jank. Yeah. So Jank does 3D printing. He does a lot of Mevo accessories as well. And I
Yep.
would love to see a mount that you can have like a circle of cameras and use that as a 3D 360 camera. That'd be
That would be
amazing.
sick.
That would be awesome.
Like moving into my office this weekend won't be long before I purchase a printer. Nice.
Oh, that's it. It's getting out there now. Everyone's getting the bug, the 3D printing bug
Yeah,
nowadays.
I want to get one myself. Let's see. Dennis says I have 3 starts and a plus. That's actually a great point. That's 1137. Many people bought the 3-pack because they want to use the start because it's a superior product, but they already had old Mevos like Mevo Plus and Mevo First Gen. So
Mhm.
now you can take advantage of those extra Mevos that you haven't been using. So that is really fun. That is a great
Yep.
call out.
So there's a question. Will I assume the Mevos would perform better connection Wi-Fi 6 versus Wi-Fi 5?
We
Um,
talked about this a little bit last time.
yeah.
That there's not really a big benefit of 6 versus 5. Just because the Mevos were designed to go 5.
Mhm. Is there a difference in? I guess I don't know too much. Maybe Jank can help us out. He's good with this stuff. Is there a difference in
Yeah.
distance for connection between Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5? I'm not sure about that.
I think it's mainly speed.
Is it speed?
So
Okay.
if you have, it's like using, something like a Bluetooth 1 device versus a Bluetooth 2 device.
Right.
Is it's limited to what it's built on.
Gotcha. Another question from Jim here. Jim, there are no dumb questions. I'm sure you've heard that before. It's true though. Where is the setting for the ISO recordings in the multicam? So, Will, why don't you show us?
Yeah, let's show you. So we've got here, and I don't have SD cards in them, but but it is right here. So you press the record button, and it'll bring you to this. And up top, this is record to device. So this is just the output. So if I was to start recording now, it would just record the light. But if I set up ISO recording right here, then it'll show me what all of my SD cards have available to me. And then I can just hit start recording, and it'll start recording on every single one of the Amiibos.
So how did you get to that screen again?
The record button, it's right under the output right here. I wish I could have that highlighted or something.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. We can.
Oh, yeah, the handy dandy arrow.
Yeah, that's right. Let me see if I can find it.
Wow, so much chat going on. Everybody's so excited about this. I love this.
So that button right there.
There you go.
Yep.
One of my better ideas. I'm very proud of that.
Oh, I'm so happy about this. It's so useful. All right, let's go back at the chat.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on.
Oh, this is great. Laserless, I have more SD cards than Will. I win.
Oh, man. I should have put them in the cameras.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
Absolutely. One thing about SD cards too, just might as well mention it since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
It's important to make sure that you're getting high speed, high class SD cards for these recordings. We've had a lot of issues in the past, especially like last year. We saw a big uptick in like these third party 1 terabyte SD cards, or like they had I saw one for 650 gigabytes. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. So, just be wary of what you're doing with your SD cards. The max I would put in there would be a 512, I'd say, right? I think that's what we've used in the past. SanDisk, Samsung, Class 10, don't mess around.
Players.
Yeah, don't mess around with your SD cards. A lot of people might want to save some money, maybe even on SD cards, but like that's where you're storing all your footage. Like you don't want to mess around with storage. I always recommend go with the best storage you can afford.
It's not worth it at all to spend.
Think about the hours you put into your projects, and then just to lose it because of a bad SD card. It's just silly.
Looks like we've got one from Flex Gids. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Any idea about the delay when using Amiibo Start via Wi-Fi and a separate audio input? Lip sync issue.
Oh, I missed that one. Where's the time on that one?
Let's see. 2:31.
Gotcha.
So, I assume he's talking about just the one Mevo and having audio delay. Obviously, it depends on your setup, like a lot that has to do with your setup. It could be if you're bringing in audio directly through the Mevo and you're connecting your Mevo via wired webcam or wireless webcam or NDI. So it really it matters how you're setting everything up. So let us know more about your setup, and we can kind of do a deeper dive into that question.
Yep, absolutely. I didn't find it on here, so maybe that one got lost in the mix. So apologies for that.
No worries. Let's see. We're disconnecting.
All right, we have some information on Wi-Fi 6. Might as well throw it out there.
Nice.
Jared always giving us the good info. Wi-Fi 6 uses a different spectrum. The wavelength is different. The distance is better under some circumstances, and in other circumstances it's worse. Well, okay. Depending on what you're pushing through. Oh, got it. So depending on your load, you might get better with distance. Cool. I'm guessing, HD video is probably on the higher end of that scale.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh man, Les. I bought a counterfeit 128 gigabyte SD card that said SanDisk on it, and it was only 16 gigabytes. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, man.
That's rough.
You got to be careful with that. I've been bitten by that dragon as well. Cool.
Wow.
Gordon coming in. SD cards are cheap these days. Yeah, they're definitely cheaper than they used to be. I mean, I remember when 16 gigs was over $100. That's showing my age a
Right.
little bit there, but yeah, they've come a long, long, long way. All right, cool. So I want to hear more about what you guys think about the unlimited multicam, right? So obviously, a couple ideas jumped out right away. I'm really looking forward to hearing what Jim could do this with baseball. Chris, I know you obviously just bought some more cameras. So when you're doing your setups, what are you thinking from like a band or a concert perspective? Maybe like a kick drum pedal, right? And get those kick drums going, or
Yeah.
maybe get some close ups on the on stage stuff. What are we thinking with that? Like, what possibilities is this opening up? This is something we've worked on for a while. So was it worth it? Should we have done it? I mean, I think we
Yeah.
should have, but
Oh yeah,
let's
for
see.
sure. Yeah, I mean, it really opens up like that the B-roll kind of ability, right? To have like that close-up shot of the drum or something like that.
Hmm.
And I know that we've got, baking potatoes in the channel, and baking potato does a lot of baking, I assume. So you can have multiple cameras. Maybe you want to have, you're working on like several different dishes at once. Um, so now you can have a camera, maybe that's a camera that's while you're grilling something or whatever, and then maybe something is in the oven, you want to capture that, and you're stirring something in another bowl. So now you just have so many more abilities to get all these great angles that you weren't able to get before.
Hmm. Absolutely. Sam has a question. This is an interesting one. I'll see. Let's get rid of this for now. Let's talk for a little bit
Yeah.
here. So Sam's saying, will the Bevo ever have a pro version? So it's a great question.
Yeah.
Um, this is a conversation we actually have a lot. Mevo has always kind of been the company that we didn't really want to go too far extra with things. Like for example, this feature is coming out and it's gonna come out on your Mevo app. It's free. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. So
Right.
having a pro version, maybe I could see trying to overhaul a whole new camera or something, or maybe do like a subscription service for certain features. I mean, let
Right.
us know what would you guys. Well, let me ask this: what would you guys want to pay extra for? Right? Is
Right.
this like what do you think would be a value in getting like a subscription or a pro service or something like that, or a pro version? What other things might you be looking for? So, Sam, give us a list of what you're looking for. I'd love to hear what you would include in that pro status, right? Because realistically, the Mevo Start is kind of doing pro level things. I mean, it's 3 steps away from basically being Streamlabs on your phone.
Right.
As far as like what you can do with it with graphics, now multiple cameras, angles, cropping, zooming, color correction. Because we didn't even talk about that. Like each camera can have its own
Right.
image quality, right? So what would you include? Let us know.
Dennis, I will need a lot more money.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I like that.
That's hilarious.
Um,
I know we all need a lot more money. Isn't that the goal? Isn't
right.
that the goal?
Let's see. Brian saying worship service, lectern, altar, organist, other musicians, choir, congregation. Yeah.
That's cool. You know what, Brian? I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with that. So let's pull up the app too, because we mentioned audio a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't talked too much about audio today. And just so everyone knows, we're going to do a part 2 to this. We're going to do a part 2 next Thursday,
Yes.
where right now we just showed you a little bit, but we're going to take this to the next level
Yeah.
100%. But as far as audio, Will, just go ahead and scroll through that mixer there and just so everyone can kind of get an idea. So you'll notice that each camera is going to come in as its own channel. And then those channels will also be able to adjust what inputs and outputs the mixer will have. So once this gets mixed in, I don't know. Actually, this might be the beta version. Maybe do you have the audio mixer on it? You do. Yes. Oh, you do. You're showing it right there. Let's make that a little bit bigger. So right now, all these are set for internal microphones, but I believe it was Brian. Was it Brian's point? Yeah, Brian, like if you're using this in a house of worship, you can have one Mevo using the line input from like the house mix, and then all
Right.
the other Mevos could be muted, and you can have those placed wherever you want in the church. Like you said, one on the chorus, one on the pulpit, like maybe even some on the audience, on the organ, of course, that'd be great. So now you have all these
Yeah.
different views, but you're only going to get the one audio source from the like the main mixer, so you can absolutely do that now. We've been having a lot of conversations about sports lately where now if you have multiple mics, you can get a lot of different things coming in with audio. So I
Right.
know a lot of our users use Mevos for like volleyball, tennis tournaments, obviously baseball, softball, but now I'm thinking like football, hockey. Like think about having Amiibo every 10-yard line on a football field or something like that, or have an Amiibo at a hockey rink where you have a couple on the bench so you can hear the coaches, hear the players, and you get maybe have a couple in the stands, get that atmosphere. So you can even use some of these Amiibos for audio only. You don't even necessarily need it to use it for video. All right, you can just have it
Yeah.
coming in as an audio input. So lots and lots and lots of options there for sure.
Yes, sir. Let's see. We've got. Let's see.
I'm at 248.
Oh, I'm at a totally different time. Jim says, once you record with a fast 5G, that 1080 quality is like crack. My 200 followers of our team love it. Yeah, I mean, 5G is the way to go. If you're streaming at a baseball field, whatever, anything outside, go 5G. If it's available near you, then it's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
Let's see. And it's jumping around. Proper lighting for what do we got? Speechless now, soon to be speechless and penniless. Nice.
I love it, Norman. Well, I mean, hey, if you're gonna break the bank, send us your results, because now that we're gonna have this option to have multiple Mevo cameras, I can't wait till we see. So I'm just gonna talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, let me put this up and let's close this out. We have a new feature, and we're going to be doing these probably monthly. We'll see how many reactions get. Maybe we'll up that frequency. But we have a host react segment where we will feature your projects using our products on the show. So send us your setup. Let us know how you use it. We'll offer you advice, some guidance. Maybe there's some things you could be doing better. Maybe your setup is awesome and you just want to show it off. We're happy to do that too. So if you caught our show last week with Cowley, super successful show. His setup was insane, set the bar. So we'll welcome anyone else. And now with this option, I expect to see way more. So equip live at logitech.com, put in the subject line host react, or you can click on the link on the scroll there you see at the bottom. It's a Willow link that will bring you to all of our details that we have going.
Nice. So I've got a question for you. Do we have the Lytra Glow video lined up? Because we had a good point where and I'm trying to find it again. Saying that now that you have so many more camera options, you're going to need so many more lighting options, which is a great point. And what's great about the Lytra Glow, which we can show you a nice little video of, is that it is at such a good price point. There we go. It's at such a good price point. It's super small, compact, portable. It's very, very bright if you want it to be. And so it's a really good thing to have just like right next to that Mevo that you have. You can just put it on a normal tripod if you want to. Lots and lots of options.
All right, I have two options here. Both thumbnails look pretty much the same, so I'm going to take a guess and see which one, if we can get that Lytra Glow, just to give everyone an idea of what we're talking about. I'm going with this one.
Let's do it.
Nope, that was stream cam.
No.
50-50. I had 50-50.
So close.
Oh, is it this? There you go.
Look at that.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I could think of so many different ways that you can just bundle those together, and what's cool about those Lytra Glows is that mount that they come with actually works with the Mevo as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like you can use those mounts as different options. You can mix and match things around. You can, maybe someone we know 3D prints mounts that you can put the glow on top of the Mevo. I don't know who that might be, but maybe there's someone out there that has something like that.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's like Ben is asking, can the Lytra Glows be powered by the Mevo? And they actually can. We figured that out live on one show. Joe Mevo figured that one out. So it's pretty cool. You can now take one of these lights with you on the go, connect it to your Mevo, and you're solid.
Yeah. All right, so we got Sam's criteria for Mevo Pro. All right,
Nice. Let's see what we got.
Let's tear it apart. Let's see. Having an 80x optical zoom without
Wow.
pixelization. Okay. Having a much bigger lens on the camera, allowing you to do 3D images. Two lenses from LaCie for video. Interesting. Your call out there that's specific. A feature that will allow you to take picture during a live streaming and feature and allow you to use third-party plugins. Yeah, Sam, I think that's all
very
really
cool.
great stuff. Yeah, I would love to use
Yeah.
third-party plugins on like the audio, even just for like compression and reverb effects, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we were talking
LUTs.
right before the show about doing like LUTs and stuff like that in the Multicam app and how cool that would be. So yeah, I mean, I think you've got a mix of some stuff that would be done in hardware, some stuff in software, but it's definitely a great dream camera you got going on there.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. Hold on.
80 times optical zoom.
Yeah,
Just in case you want to photograph the moon. Yeah.
Just in case you want to photograph the moon.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. I mean, the optical zoom it's great, especially if you're doing sports. Like, if you ever watch a football game and you see those photographers and they have the camera lenses that are telescopic or whatever, telescoping.
Telescopic. Yep.
But they're like, they're 3 feet long, hanging off the mount on the camera. Like, I would love to be able to do something like that with the Meevos. I think that'd be insane.
Yeah.
So how much money were you talking about here, though, for Pro? So
Right.
give
That's
us,
the thing.
Is this a monthly subscription? Is this a one-time buy that costs, $10,000? Telephoto. See,
Right.
again, 50,
I also wonder, with this unlimited Meevos, right? Would you like the Meevo's price point is super good when you consider everything that it can do. And then obviously now you can do so much more with it because you've got unlimited Meevos that you can use, which is really, really cool. But if the Meevos were, at whatever this product price point is with 80 times optical zoom, like, would you buy 6 Meevos for all your angles and all your shots that you really like that are all, like $10,000, whatever this price is?
Yeah. That's a good question too. And what's cool though is you could mix and match like with Mevo Starts, right? So maybe you get one that's like the Pro version, and you can have your Mevo Starts being like for specific angles and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be cool.
Absolutely. Sam's saying yearly, like a yearly subscription. I mean, hey, that's good to know. That's good to know. I think you have a lot of good points there.
For sure.
It's good to know that people would do that. Some people don't like subscriptions, but I feel like the way the world is now, everything's subscription, right? I mean, every streaming service there's some type of subscription for it. Any type of
more and more.
Even your food, like you order your food on subscription a lot of the time. So
yeah,
it's definitely a conversation we need to have. Norman saying, I like a Mevo drone for aerial shots, my dream. Listen, Norman,
and you could do that.
We can make this happen.
Yeah. I mean, you can't put it in the rain or anything, but you can definitely do that.
It'd be cool. So there's two things. If you can find a drone that has like that quarter 20 like input, so like anything that'll take that input right there, you can just strap Amiibo Start right to it and fly it around depending on if it can handle the weight. But if you have Amiibo Plus, those are magnetic.
Right.
Remember that? So the bottom of the Amiibo Plus is if you have an old one lying around, you're not going to find one now, but you can just magnet that to the bottom of a drone.
Right.
Go from there.
The biggest limitation is the signal, right? Like if you have a drone, then you got to do something really creative about your signal for the phone.
Yeah, you like Velcro a hotspot to the drone and then just fly around in a 5G area or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Let's see, Samuel coming in at 11:58 saying, "Will the Mevo camera ever have AI technology built into it?" That's interesting. Like, what would you want the AI to do? I assume kind of like select shots for you and like a little bit more of an advanced autopilot kind of a thing.
Yeah, because you can already do like its own autopilot, which is timed, right? So it's not AI; it's on a timer. You could do the follow faces with the normal Mevo app, but again, that's just kind of triangulating certain points and then just moving the crop around. I guess you could use AI for voice activation, but we found that out the other day too. There's ways to do
Yeah,
that.
which is pretty
Um,
dope.
I'm trying to think what else you would use it for. I guess selecting your shots. Maybe do like vocal selection as far as like if you have like a podcast set up, you have person on the left, person on the right, and it'll auto switch based
Right.
on who's talking based off of like inputs. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Or
Um,
movement or something like that.
or movement, right? Yep.
Yeah, that would be
Yep.
really cool.
Sam coming up with all the good ideas. Sam's planning out Mevo 2023 and 2024, guys, in case you're
I love it.
wondering. He's taking us into
Maybe
the
we got to
future.
bring him on board.
Yeah.
Let's see. 11:57. Yeah, well, but I'd love to be able to control the Lytras from within the multicam interface.
Ooh,
It's a
that's
good
good
call out.
call. I like that
Yeah,
idea too.
I like that a
Interesting.
lot.
Well, that's a conversation, hey, Nate, if you're watching, we got to talk to whoever's in Lytra Glow software
Yeah,
and see if we can make some type of connection there. It would be interesting to kind of basically incorporate G-Hub in a way into the Mevo software or vice versa. So you do
yeah.
have those options. Also,
That would be
I'm
amazing.
concerned though that what concerns me about that is like
What's that?
when you look at the actual screen, like how much real estate do we really have? Um, as far as
Right.
like what we can put on, right? Because you want there you go. I think this is kind of perfect, right? Because you want your images as number one. You want to be able to select your shot. Audio, generally, you can kind of set it and forget it once it's already
Right.
set up. So you don't necessarily need too much real estate for that. But I'm trying to think of where are other controls. You'd have to have a whole lighting
Maybe
section.
another like tab at the bottom or something.
It would have to have its own preview, and it would have to be able to preview before going out to the
That being
program app.
said,
Yeah.
I did
Oh,
just think of this is
shoot.
you can have it so you can turn on power via USB in the multicam settings. So you kind of can control it.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So you can turn it on and off, and then so you just got to preset like your temperature on the light, and then you can turn it on and off via the Mevo, which is
Right.
actually a great call out. That's a really good idea.
I try.
Yeah.
Um
Oh, this is cool. Jenk saying turn on the light only when the Mevo is enabled. So like when the tally light is on. So basically when the Mevo is selected in the program out, that's the only time the light goes on.
yeah,
That's
that would
interesting.
be cool.
That is interesting.
I like that a lot.
Kathy would love to see animated titles. That's a
Yeah.
good idea too. I actually have I'm surprised we haven't heard that more. That's a really, really great call out.
Yeah. I like that. Currently I'm going multicam to Streamlabs to add animations like that, but
Hmm.
it would be great to have in the multicam app for sure.
Cool.
Laser Less saying yes, 3 lenses with different points and rotation built in. Yeah, kind of like an iPhone style camera grid. Would
Gotcha.
be cool.
That would be cool. All right, cool. Well, Will, we're a little bit over. I know we started a
Oh
little late, so
man.
we'll get 1 or 2 more in here.
Yeah. Lots
Let's
going
see.
on this show. Don't forget, next week on
Nice.
Thursday, we're gonna do some crazy stuff with this. We wanted to split it up into two shows. I was originally gonna set this up for one show, and Joseph was just like, it's gonna blow their minds too much that they can already do more than 3 Mevos. Like it's gonna be way overboard if we do all this like AR stuff and 15 Mevos, and it's just gotta split it up.
Absolutely.
Which I think is a good call.
So next week's plan, team, is we're gonna push the limit and see how many Meebos we can do. We're gonna see what Will's iPad is capable of, and then we'll see what its iPhone is capable of. I'll try and set some stuff on the Samsung, and we'll really put this to the test. So next week's show, make sure you tune in. We're gonna have a lot of fun with multicam, and we're gonna go crazy.
That's
So
right.
with that being said, I want to thank everyone for joining us as always. And if we didn't get your questions, leave them in the chat. Keep posting, keep putting them in the chat. On Tuesday, we'll go back and we'll make sure we get to whatever we might have missed. And of course, we do our live Q&As on Tuesday. So join us for that as well.
That's right. And don't forget, you can always follow us on all of our socials, and you'll find all of these live shows on YouTube. So if you miss an episode, you can just check it out on youtube.com/Logitech for creators. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and yeah, see you next week.
All right. Have a good weekend,
Let's
everyone.
do it. Bye, guys.